heavyweight world title. Tonight, 8 warriors begin their quest to earn a shot at that championship. 19-1 sensation Nazareno Malagari, focused on erasing the bitter taste of his only career loss. Ronnie Kid Ninja Man, England's best featherweight, looking to show that he belongs at the top.
That is it! Just like that! Ricci is out, Curran reigns victorious!
Pat Curran, an underdog tournament champion at lightweight, now set to achieve greatness at 145. And Brazilian superstar Marlon Sandro, rising from the slums of Rio, determined to power his way to a world championship. Bellator returns to MTV2 with the Featherweight Summer Series, and it starts right now. We are live at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida, for the start of Bellator Fighting Championship Summer Series. Tonight on MTV2, it's Bellator 46, which features the Featherweight Tournament quarterfinal round and marks the U.S. debut of Marlon Sandro. Welcome to Bellator Fighting Championships with Jimmy Smith. I'm Sean Wheelock. Tonight, Jimmy, we open Bellator's inaugural Summer Series. 3 events over the next 3 months.
That's right. It is tournament time yet again. Tonight is the quarterfinals. The winners move on to a semifinal and then a final where they'll get not only a shot at $100,000, but at the Bellator champion.
Here at Bellator 46, we will feature the entire quarterfinal round of the featherweight tournament. 4 bouts, 8 fighters hailing from 5 different nations.
And it is a stacked division. We will end the night tonight with Pat Curran versus Luis Palomino. Pat Curran, of course, the 155-pound standout. He was the tournament champion last year. Luis Palomino, not an easy fight. Very heavy-handed. He spent time at lightweight as well. Marlon Sandro making his U.S. debut, but against another Brazilian, very tough. Renair da Silva, 10-3. All of those fights in Brazil. This fight has war written all over it. Also, Nazareno Malagari was 19-0 until his Bellator debut, where he suffered his only defeat. Jacob DeVries says, I'm not intimidated. I'm going to make him 0-2 in the United States. Ronnie Mann from the UK, talented, accurate, extremely experienced versus Adam Schindler. He's big, strong, a physical wrestler. Can he get on top and impose his will? That's the question.
There's a buzz of excitement here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino as this fired-up crowd is ready for the fights to begin. When we return, England's young star, 24-year-old Ronnie Mann, will open the Summer Series featherweight tournament versus the tenacious American Adam Schindler. This is MTV2, and you are watching Bellator. We are live at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino for Bellator 46 and the start of Bellator's inaugural Summer Series, coming to you this evening on MTV2. We open tonight with featherweight tournament quarterfinal number 1, Adam Schindler versus Ronnie Mann. Adam Schindler started wrestling at the age of 6 and was a 2-time West Virginia State High School champion.
Signing with Bellator for me was a life-changing experience. Every time someone told me I was crazy for being a fighter, you know, it means it was all worth it. And it means that when I believed in myself, that I was right.
Swinging and winging, and Schindler getting the better of that exchange.
I do feel like I'm the dark horse in this tournament, but I'm ready to show everyone how good Adam Schindler really is. I want fans watching around the country that don't know who I am to look at each other and say, damn, who is this kid? Ronnie Mann is a good matchup for me. I've always fought guys bigger than I am, and I'm going to be the bigger guy in this fight. I'm going to be ready to take the fight to Ronnie Mann. I think he's trying to pump himself up and trying to tell himself that he's not impressed, and I think he's a little worried. And tonight in the cage, he's going to figure that out.
Ronnie Mann made his pro MMA debut at the age of 17 in November of 2003.
Born in Thailand, now living in England, Sengoku veteran Ronnie Kid Ninja Mann is a classic example of mixed martial arts next generation.
I've always loved martial arts as a kid. I've grown up watching people like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and ever since then I've just fell in love with the sport and started MMA when I was about 13 years old.
Making his professional debut at 17, Kid Ninja has since established himself as the UK's top featherweight, winning a pair of championships. But he knows this is the opportunity to solidify his reputation as one of the world's best.
I'm really excited about playing some of the top competitors in the world here at Bellator, and I feel that 2011 is my time to shine. I feel the Bellator tournament doesn't do anyone any favours. That's what I love about it. There's no comparing who gets a title shot. You win, you get a title shot. That's what I'm here to do.
Man trying to unload more shots. Ronnie, Kid Ninja, man.
From what I've seen of Adam Schindler, I'm not really impressed with him. You know, he comes out swinging, he's wild, he's not particularly great in any area. You know, I'm here to make him look like an amateur.
Bad mousing.
Oh, good head kick.
My goal here at Bellator is to get that belt. I don't care who they put in front of me, I don't care how long it takes me, but I'm here to get that belt, and that belt's going to be mine.
Our tale of the tape is sponsored by Transformers Dark of the Moon in theaters Wednesday.
See the record of Ronnie Man, 19-2-1, extremely experienced, all those fights overseas.
We now send it inside the Bellator cage to Michael Williams.
Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 along with Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Now present the quarterfinal round of the Bellator Summer Series Featherweight Tournament, sponsored by Dungeon Siege 3, born from legend to unite a legion. And now set for 3 5-minute rounds, we introduce first the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in at 145 pounds even, his professional record 9 wins, 1 loss, fighting out of Houston, Texas, Adam Schindler. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner at 5'6", he too weighed in at 145 pounds. Impressive as a professional, 19 victories, only 2 defeats with 1 draw. From Cheltenham, England, introducing Ronnie, Kid Ninja, man. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Jorge Alonso.
In the quarterfinal round of this Bellator featherweight tournament, all fights are scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are not allowed, neither standing nor on the ground, and there is no kicking or kneeing the head of a grounded opponent. Featherweight tournament quarterfinal number 1. Bring it on. The bell and round number 1. Tonight's Bellator Fight Clock is sponsored by Dungeon Siege 3, born from legend to unite a legion.
Big question in this fight, will Schindler try and close the distance and get his takedown going, or will he stand and bang with Kid Ninja?
Adam Schindler, the American, is in the white trunks. The Englishman, Ronnie Man, is in the black and gray trunks.
Good right-left combo by Schindler. Another good
Big left hand on the inside by Man. That stunned Schindler, but still he comes forward. Schindler now fishing for the inside trip.
I think this is where Schindler needs to be. He's a lot bigger than Ronnie Man. Sean, you and I have covered a lot of fights in Europe. European fighters don't cut a lot of weight. They don't typically have that wrestling background. They tend to be smaller than their American counterparts.
Adam Schindler, this is his first pro MMA fight at 145 pounds. His other 10 fights in this sport at 155 pounds. Again, he said, for the first time in my life, I think I'm going to be the bigger, stronger fighter. Schindler 2 inches taller than his opponent, Ronnie Man. Schindler standing 5'8". Schindler trying to change levels there. Man told us, Jimmy, in our conversation with him 2 days ago, he thought he would win really based on superior technique.
I think he's going to have to. It's hard to brawl with a guy a lot bigger than you.
Man said Schindler definitely has me in wrestling. He said if this were a wrestling match, I would lose, but we're involving punches and kicks, so I think I have the edge.
Oh! Good high kick by both men.
It was essentially a push kick to the face by Man, and a conventional head kick by Schindler.
You know, Ronnie Man said, Schindler's kind of a brawler, doesn't impress me with his technique, but that might be, Schindler's key. You don't want to have a technical fight with a guy who's more technical than you. You brawl a boxer, you box a brawler.
Schindler said that he wanted to feel his way into this fight, test his stand-up, and then get to the ground. And he said, I will always, always have top position on the ground versus Ronnie Man. That's yet to be seen in this fight. Man missing with that left-right, the 1-2.
Nice tight combinations by Ronnie Man, but he has to use his footwork to get inside. Good right hand.
It was the left and a beautiful turnover right by Man. Shot by Schindler, the sprawl by Man, dances away.
That was just too far outside. Got to be closer than that to get a successful takedown. But see Ronnie Man tight with that right hand, was right on the jaw.
Second fight for Ronnie Man here in Bellator. He's also fought in Shuto, Cage Rage, and Sengoku.
Good leg kick. But it's off that left hook, a left, then a right, just like with the hands. Left foot, right kick. 23rd pro MMA fight for 24-year-old Ronnie Man, the 11th pro MMA fight for 28-year-old Adam Schindler. Now, one thing, if you're a grappler, it's hard to find gaps to take someone down when they're throwing tight, crisp combinations. That's what Ronnie Man is throwing. He's not, he's not throwing wide, loopy punches that Schindler can get underneath and take him down.
Another right hand by Man. Wild miss there over the top by Schindler. Mouse forming under the left eye of Adam Schindler. Also blood starting to trickle from the bridge of his nose.
See that another time, Schindler's hands high, but that right straight, right through the center.
Chopping kick there, it was very high, just under the cup, thrown by Man. Body kick caught there. Man just caught it, let the foot go, and stared at his opponent, Adam Schindler.
Good body shot, changing up the strikes.
Feint there with the left hand by Man, feinting the Superman punch. Body shot, then the body kick by Man. That's a clever combination you don't see a lot in MMA.
You see when Schindler comes in, his elbows are coming up. That's why he got hit with that body kick.
Man has fought 9 times as a professional Muay Thai fighter, has a record of 7-2.
Beautiful left hand.
Schindler's in all sorts of trouble, and Man looking to finish. Flush knockdown there.
He is hurt. Good hammer fist. He's out.
Hammer fist. That is it. Cool as you like on that finish by Ronnie Man. He is through to the semifinals.
And that left hook set it up. Dynamic shot. And as soon as he had him hurt, he swarmed him. Excellent job.
A flash knockdown to a full-on knockout for Ronnie Man.
Great finishing instincts. As soon as he had him hurt, he was all over him. Beautiful job. Doctors attending to him right now. Looks like he's going to be fine.
Man, so explosive with his strikes, Jimmy.
Now that left hook came out of nowhere, but it was extremely accurate. Right on the chin. That would have knocked out anyone in the division.
We'll see on the replay how Man turns his punches over.
An excellent job right on the chin. That right hand was doing extremely well, but Schindler was taking those shots. It was that left hook right on the jaw that put him down.
4 minutes, 14 seconds, the time of the stoppage. It's up to referee Jorge Alonso to rule that a knockout or a TKO. Jimmy, I think that's a knockout.
I think that's a knockout as well. Wow. And you see here, this is earlier on in the round. Man finding a home for those straight shots inside the wild strikes of Schindler. Later on, same thing. That straight line beating the loopy punches of Schindler. And then that's the end of the fight. Beautiful left hook right over the top. Schindler trying to defend, trying to keep his wits about him, but Ronnie Man all over him with the hammer fist, and it was those shots right on the jaw that put him out. One more look at it. Bang, that left hook over the top. Schindler game, trying to stay with Ronnie Man, but could not get distance. And Ronnie Man, that veteran experience, he knows when he has a guy hurt to not let him off the hook. Great finish by Ronnie Man.
You saw it on the replay. Schindler was out cold, and that is ruled a knockout. When we return, Jimmy Smith will speak to the victor, Ronnie Man. He is through to the Final Four. 20 professional mixed martial arts victories now for 24-year-old Ronnie Man. And the Englishman is 2-0 in Bellator and through to the featherweight tournament semifinals. Good news that Adam Schindler is back on his feet. He has regained consciousness.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 4 minutes, 14 seconds into round number 1. The winner by knockout victory, and now the first semifinalist in the featherweight tournament, Ronnie Kid Ninja Man.
Ronnie Man said that he would win this fight with superior technique. That was superior striking technique shown by Ronnie Man. Here's Jimmy Smith with the winner.
I'm here with your winner, Ronnie Kid Ninja Man. Ronnie, you said Schindler could come in a little bit wild. You were catching him with accurate strikes. Was that your plan from the beginning?
Yeah, I knew he was going to come in wild, so yeah, that was my plan, you know, just hit him straight down the middle, which is basically what you just seen. So yeah, it worked.
Now, at the end of the fight, you were finding a home for that right hand, but it was the left hook that really dropped him. Talk us through the end of that fight.
All I heard was my corner man, Sean Tompkins. He shouted, right uppercut, left hook, you know, so I threw it and caught him, you know, so I just, you know, listened out to the master here and, you know, it worked.
Now, you're the first 145-pounder of this tournament to move on to the semifinals. Is there anyone you're looking forward to? Is there anything in your head for the next round?
No, I just want that #1 spot, you know, I don't care who's next, you know, I'm just here to win it.
Well, you just served notice in a very difficult division. Give it up for your winner, Ronnie Kid Ninja Man.
With that victory, Ronnie Man becomes the first semifinalist in Bellator's Summer Series Featherweight Tournament. The remaining 3 places in the Final 4 will be filled tonight. The winner, by way of first-round knockout, Ronnie Man defeats Adam Schindler. And Jimmy, still to come this evening, the Bellator debut of former Sengoku featherweight champion, Marlon Sandro.
You know, Marlon Sandro, one of the top 145-pounders in the world. A treat for the American fans that have not seen him yet. This guy's awesome.
And, of course, we will also see Pat Curran, the Season 2 Bellator lightweight tournament champion.
You know, he's done so well at 155 pounds. We talked to him, he said it was kind of a goof. I'm a 145-pounder. Let's see how he does at his natural weight class.
When we return, 19-1 Argentine Nazareno Malagari will be back in the Bellator cage as he faces Jacob DeVries for a place in the semifinals. This is Bellator Fighting Championship. Tonight's Bellator Fighting Championships live on MTV2 is brought to you by the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood, Florida. And by Transformers Dark of the Moon in theaters Wednesday.
Saturday, July 23rd, Bellator Fighting Championships, airing live on MTV2, comes to Casino Rama. It's an explosive rematch, but this time a world title is on the line. Featherweight world champion Joe Warren defends his belt against Season 4 champion Patricio Pitbull. Plus, it's the semifinal round of the $100,000 Bellator Summer Series Featherweight Tournament. Saturday, July 23rd at Casino Rama. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com or the Casino Rama box office.
Bellator's Summer Series continues Saturday night, July 23rd, with Bellator's first ever event in Canada.
You know, Warren versus Pitbull. This is a fight we've been looking forward to for an entire year. Pitbull, an outstanding fighter. Always thinking about is Joe Warren. In addition to that, the Mohegan Sun, the Featherweight Tournament Championship, the guys fighting tonight, that will be their final, and Conrad versus Buentello, an outstanding striker versus a phenomenal wrestler.
And of course, you can see Bellator Summer Series right here live on MTV2. We are now set for this second Featherweight Tournament quarterfinal, Jacob DeVries versus Nazareno Malagari. 23-year-old Jacob DeVries calls this fight the biggest of his career, and his opponent tonight the toughest of his career by far.
My daughter's my biggest inspiration. She drives me to do everything I do. I want her to grow up and have a better life, and this is my chance to do it. As soon as I found out I was going to be a part of this tournament, I went ahead and quit my job. I have no backup plan, so I went at it 110%, and I'm going to make the best of it. I have 10 wins. I feel like I fit right in with this tournament. I feel like I could compete with any of the top 145ers out there, and I feel like this is my chance to prove it. I've watched a lot of tape on Nazareno. I'm looking out to go out and shut down everything he's trying to do. I know I was brought in as an underdog in this fight, and after I'm done and beat Nazareno, people will know who I am and know that I'm the real deal.
Nazareno Malagari lost by unanimous decision versus Daniel Strauss in the quarterfinal round of the Season 4 Featherweight Tournament, which ended his 19-fight winning streak.
I was born in a poor neighborhood in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I started training judo when I was 4 years old and taekwondo when I was 7. When I was 14, I moved to Brazil and started training Jiu-Jitsu.
Straight right hand and the left by the Argentine.
After my loss to Daniel Strauss, I feel really disappointed. And I see that to compete in that high-level sport in a great event, I have to improve my wrestling techniques. Jacob is a great wrestler as Daniel Strauss, but now I improved that part of wrestling, and I'm going to do different this time. I have that second chance, so now I'm here to be the champion.
Our tale of the tape is sponsored by Transformers Dark of the Moon in theaters Wednesday.
You see Malagari's record 19-1. That loss coming in the Bellator cage against Daniel Strauss in his U.S. debut. He wants to get over that loss, Sean.
From Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 along with Everlast. Greatness is within. Now present the second featherweight tournament quarterfinal scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Fighting out of the red corner at 5'9", he weighed in at 144 1/2 pounds. As a professional, 10 wins with just a single loss. Fighting out of Apache Junction, Arizona, Jacob DeVries. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in at 145 1/2 pounds. Near perfect as a professional, 19 victories with just 1 defeat. Originally from Buenos Aires, Argentina, introducing Nazareno Maligari. And the referee for this contest, Troy Waugh.
The winner of this second featherweight tournament quarterfinal joins Ronnie Mann in the semifinal round. Jacob DeVries, the American, versus Nazareno Maligari, the Argentine, now based in Brazil. Troy Waugh is the referee. The bell in round number 1. Tonight's Bellator Fight Clock is sponsored by Dungeon Siege 3, born from legend to unite a legion.
And both these guys starting off fast, throwing leather right away. Now, that's what Maligari said he's been working on, is his wrestling, and he gets the takedown. Oh, going hard for the guillotine.
This could be a quick finish that is really tight, held by the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Nazareno Maligari, cracking on the guillotine.
His head is down, but he has that arm in. Can be hard to finish there.
Juicy doesn't have his guard closed. DeVries, who promised a fast start, playing all defense at the moment, trying to force his head free. A lot of torque there by Maligari.
Now he is really cranking on that guillotine. The problem is if he doesn't get it, he's wasting a lot of energy.
DeVries trying to force his head free.
Oh, he's also trying to lift his butt up to relieve the pressure on his neck.
Thumbs up there from DeVries to referee Troy Waugh. Maligari still cranking.
And he's going hard for the finish. But man, his arms have to be burning right now.
Maligari still committed to this submission attempt on the guillotine from the bottom. And DeVries works his head free.
DeVries, I'm looking in his eyes. He looks a little bit dopey. Man, he does not have a clear head yet.
Maligari now sitting up, holding the high body lock. DeVries trying to land punches into the ribcage. Not much steam on those right hands, though.
Maligari trying to get his energy back. He lost a lot of energy going for that guillotine. Now going for the heel hook.
Second submission attempt thrown out by Nazareno Maligari.
DeVries trying to step over, relieve that pressure on his leg, and he gets it.
Another submission escape by Jacob DeVries.
The problem is every submission you go for that you don't get costs you some energy. You have to be very efficient with them.
DeVries started wrestling at the age of 10. He was a high school wrestler in Arizona.
Gotta wonder how much it's taking out of Maligari to go for all these submissions and have them not work.
DeVries said that he went to school watching over and over again another American wrestler, Daniel Strauss, defeating Nazareno Maligari in the Season 4 featherweight tournament quarterfinal round. Strauss winning by unanimous decision back on March 19th.
That fight was all about the pace of Daniel Strauss.
DeVries said that he wants to emulate Strauss's constant pressure and staying in good position on the ground.
Well, he's staying on top. He's staying in good position, but not doing a lot with the position, not throwing a lot of strikes.
Stand-up order by referee Troy Waugh as Malagari was fighting out a closed guard. The crowd here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida gives that an ovation.
Well, I think DeVries just learned a lot of respect for Malagari's guard. Those were two very tight submissions.
Malagari said since the loss to Strauss, that's the only loss in his career. He started 19-0, now 19-1. Worked a lot on his boxing and on his wrestling. Said he wanted to really showcase his striking in this fight. We're just missing with that, really a hook to the body.
Problem is he's not bringing his hands back to his chin. Malagari's got to take note of that. Catch him at the end of his combinations. See, DeVries throws well, but he brings his hands back down to his nipples, not back up to his chin.
Stiff jab there by DeVries. Stiff jab by Malagari. This looked like this might be a really quick finish for the Argentine Nazareno Malagari. Now we've settled in. Wide punches there by DeVries.
DeVries throwing with a lot of power.
DeVries felt that he was the tougher fighter and he had the vastly superior cardio.
Oh, good left hand.
Malagari on the left in the shot. Couldn't find it there. So far, DeVries has shown that he's tough. But Jimmy, as you've said over and over again on these broadcasts, you don't want to be known as a tough fighter in MMA. That means you're losing.
It means you get hit a lot.
Credit to DeVries, though, because that guillotine was cinched by the black belt Nazareno Malagari.
And if he had had full guard, maybe he hadn't had that leg in, he would have had that submission.
Takedown from the single leg.
DeVries looking like he's trying to lock up a triangle, but he can't do it without getting his leg free.
DeVries now rubber guard in the mission control position.
It doesn't quite have it behind his head, not quite in mission control. Looks like he's trying to lock up the arm, maybe stalling. Only 12 seconds left in the round.
A very entertaining round number one. Malagari trying to get the back, trying to get the hooks in.
Doing good. I need that jab, all right? Deep breath. 3 deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth.
Moments away from the start of round number 2 of this second featherweight tournament quarterfinal. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
I have a 10-9 Malagari. Went hard for those submissions, showed aggression, trying to finish the fight. Pretty even in the stand-up. And that takedown at the end of the round.
Jacob DeVries is in the green trunks. Nazareno Malagari is in the white trunks. DeVries told us, Jimmy, that he did not believe that Malagari could submit him. Malagari throwing on 2 submission attempts in the first round. They could not get DeVries to tap.
Credit to DeVries' submission defense. Now taking Malagari down.
There again is the guillotine attempt from the bottom by Malagari.
And he turns it into a sweep. Now going hard for the guillotine.
Now from the top.
Well, he's cranking on this hard.
Arm in from the top. Getting one hook in. Cage walk there by DeVries.
Can't see exactly how tight. Looks deep from here, but he's not quite over the neck. Looks like it's on the chin, but Malagari now in the full mount.
Again, DeVries getting his head free, but indeed, Jimmy, Nazareno Malagari has achieved full mount and a left hand and another.
That's one way out of the guillotine, is to roll, but the problem is when you're done rolling, you end up with the guy on top of you in full mount. That's never good.
Referee Troy Waugh just warning Nazareno Malagari to watch his punches to the back of DeVries' head. The rule is you literally look at your opponent's head. You want to split an imaginary line through the ears, away from the face. Anything on the backside, that's technically an illegal punch, but there's obviously a gray area.
Now giving up his back. This is not where you want to be against a jiu-jitsu fighter of Malagari's experience. Now loosening him up with strikes.
And look at Malagari flattening out DeVries. DeVries tucks in again and flattened out again. That's great hip positioning there from Malagari.
If he turns it on here, he can end this fight, but DeVries doing a good job getting back to half guard.
DeVries from the half guard posturing onto his hip. See Malagari just driving his head in.
Now this is where you don't want to be against an outstanding jiu-jitsu fighter. On the bottom, playing position, getting punched. They are so good at staying on top once they're on top.
Beautiful base and balance from that top position on his knees by Malagari.
You know, the wrestler DeVries, he wants to be on top. Landing strikes of his own. He does not want to be on the bottom, but that's where he is now.
Again, you see, really as a lever, Malagari driving in his head to get better position. This week on an all-new Impact Wrestling, the Bound for Glory series is heating up, and Destination X is only 2 weeks away. Don't miss all of the action on Impact Wrestling. And this week it's being presented with limited commercial interruptions. Wrestling Matters again, Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Spike.
See, he thought about the guillotine for a second there, but he's tried it a couple times and didn't get it, didn't want to waste any more energy.
So much of this fight, though, is DeVries playing defense. Credit to him for escaping these submission attempts, but if you're playing defense and you're escaping submissions, you're probably losing the eyes of the judges.
Nobody ever won a fight by escaping submissions, just for the fact that they didn't tap.
Excellent body and positional control shown by Nazareno Malagari. Again, entered 19-0 in Bellator's Season 4 featherweight tournament quarterfinal round back on March 19th versus Daniel Strauss. Lost a unanimous decision. Very much bothered by that loss. Very much wants to not go 0-2. Coming right back with a victory. To me, from a fighter's perspective, you only lost once in your pro career, and that was by decision. What's your mindset after a loss?
You just can't have another one. You're so paranoid. You're so, so focused on victory after that. You just don't want that feeling again. It haunts you. Especially decision, you feel, oh, maybe if I'd given a little bit more, I could have won that fight. I know that's how Malagari feels.
Malagari, very sporting. He said, Strauss definitely beat me. I have no issue. He was the superior fighter on that night. But Malagari also saying, again, big focus on his boxing, a bigger focus on his wrestling.
And another thing was the pace of Strauss. I mean, can you think of a fighter who could have maintained that pace like Strauss did? There are very few. Now, going for the heel hook, good rollout by DeVries.
DeVries still does not have his right leg free. Now he does.
Malagari on his back, but only 15 seconds left. What can DeVries do with it?
Up kicks there by Malagari. DeVries diving in with the right hand, and Malagari closes guard. Another entertaining round. We will go to round 3.
You see those submissions in round number 1, the guillotine by Malagari. So tight, but DeVries able to power his head out. Now in round number 2, the same thing. Malagari went for the guillotine. DeVries able to pop his head out, but this time Malagari ends up on top and stays on top for a lot of that round. I think that won him the second round.
Heading into our third and final round of this second featherweight tournament quarterfinal here in the start of Bellator's inaugural summer series. The Englishman Ronnie Mann is already through to this tournament semifinal round. The winner joins him. 3 judges scoring for the state of Florida are sitting cage side, and Jimmy, as always, you have the unofficial scorecard.
I give both of the first 2 rounds to Malagari, 10-9. Good escapes by DeVries, but it's Malagari with the offense. Malagari on top a lot in that second round. He's been the aggressor. He's been more effective.
Jacob DeVries back on the bottom is in the green trunks. Nazareno Malagari, the Argentine living in Brazil, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, is in the white trunks.
And you can hear those shots to the ribs. Great body work. You know, Malagari said, I've been working on my wrestling, and that has shown. He's gotten the takedown last round and this round, and it's been so effective on top.
DeVries came in very relaxed when we spoke to him. He said that he believes that everyone thinks that he is going to lose, and thus he thinks that Malagari feels the pressure. He's only 23 years old. Does it ever come to a point, Jimmy, where you think, wow, what a great accomplishment. I went 15 rounds. I'd rather 15 minutes. 15 rounds would be a great accomplishment. 15 minutes, 3 rounds.
Well, I don't think DeVries thinking that way. He wants a victory, but he's behind in another guillotine.
And there is the tap. He said he couldn't be submitted, but forced the tap. The guillotine from the top position, and Nazareno Malagari is through to the semifinal round.
Great persistence. He got the guillotine 2 times and it didn't work. Went for it the 3rd time and finally got it. That's how you stay composed. Go back to the well. You're going to get it if you stay persistent.
Well, Jacob DeVries said that he thought he was tough for the Nazareno Malagari. He is definitely tough, but just too much torque. Finally, in that 3rd guillotine attempt in as many rounds, forced to tap.
You know, I don't think he had a lot of respect for the toughness of Malagari. He kept saying, I'm going to wear him out like Daniel Strauss, but, you know, Daniel Strauss set an incredible pace, and Malagari kept up with him that entire fight. He's a very tough dude with great cardio. I think DeVries learned that tonight. Oh, and also very technical. Let's take a look at this guillotine choke that finished the fight. DeVries on the bottom, popped up, got a little bit of distance, but you see he dropped his head, left his neck vulnerable, and a black belt like Malagari. He's never going to pass that up. Went for the guillotine, and this time got it deep enough. Beautiful torque, ends up on top, and you're going to get a tap every single time from that position. That's an elated Nazareno Malagari. You see here, it was in the scramble, left his neck exposed. This time Malagari able to get his legs all the way around, deep around the neck, arcing with the back. Beautiful pressure. That's going to be a submission every time.
Nazareno Malagari is through to the semifinal round. When we return, he will speak to Jimmy Smith. 20 wins for the Argentine. So far, here in the quarterfinal round of Bellator's featherweight tournament in the inaugural Summer Series, the foreign-born fighters are 2-0. The American fighters are 0-2. Nazareno Malagari is through to the last 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tap comes at 1 minute, 25 seconds into round number 3. By way of a guillotine choke, the winner by submission, now earning his place in the semifinal round of the featherweight tournament, Nazareno Malagari.
Nazareno Malagari was determined to overcome his lone loss of his career. Now 20-1 as a pro MMA fighter. He is with Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your winner, Nazareno Malagari. Your first win in the United States, your first win in Bellator. How do you feel right now?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Oh, guys, this is the real Nazareno Malagari, what you have seen tonight.
Now, you're on to the semifinals. You saw Ronnie Kid Ninja Man with an outstanding performance. What are the fans going to see in that next round from you?
Whatever Bellator want to put to me fight, I'm going to win again. And I will become the champion of the Bellator.
Congratulations, you're semifinalist, Nazareno Malagari, ladies and gentlemen.
The end of the fight. It came at 1 minute, 25 seconds of round number 3. The 3rd guillotine attempt by Nazareno Malagari. And this time he gets Jacob DeVries. Look at the torque from the Argentine. And DeVries taps. Elation for Nazareno Malagari. That win advances Nazareno Malagari to the semifinal round of Bellator's Summer Series featherweight tournament, where he joins Ronnie Mann. The winner, by way of 3rd round submission, Nazareno Malagari defeats Jacob DeVries. Later tonight, here at Bellator 46, our final quarterfinal, featuring Pat Curran, Bellator's Season 2 lightweight tournament champion, versus the Peruvian Luis Palomino, who says that he is coming to record a spectacular knockout. This is Bellator Fighting Championships, live on MTV2. This is Bellator Fighting Championships, live on MTV2 from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Aside from being my broadcast partner, Jimmy Smith is also an accomplished MMA fighter and trainer. Here now is Sweet Submissions with Jimmy and the Bellator girls, Mercedes Terrell and Jade Bryce.
Now this time we're going over the triangle to armbar transition. Last time we went over the triangle. One of the problems with escaping the triangle is that it's easy to leave your arm behind. We see here Toby Amata, the submission specialist, gets his leg over the shoulder of James Krause, goes for the triangle. Krause tries to get his posture back, but leaves his left arm exposed, and Toby Amata gets another submission victory. Now here are Jade and Mercedes. We're going to start out in the triangle, which is what we went over last time. Jade is locked up in the triangle. Mercedes has her. To get her posture back and escape, Jade sits back, but she leaves her right arm exposed. Mercedes controls her elbow and then transitions her hips and throws her leg over Jade's face. Then she engages her hips and puts her feet on the ground. Now all she has to do is lay back and straighten Jade's arm, and she has no choice but to tap.
When we return, it's Brazilian versus Brazilian, as Marlon Sandro makes his Bellator debut versus Luta Libre specialist Jenair da Silva Jr. Live on MTV2, you are watching Bellator. Welcome back live to the start of Bellator's inaugural summer series on the television home of Bellator Fighting Championships, MTV2. Up now is featherweight tournament quarterfinal number 3, Jenair da Silva Jr. versus Marlon Sandro. This is the 14th career pro MMA fight for Jenair da Silva Jr. and the first outside of his native Brazil.
I was born in one of the poorest places in Brazil. I had a choice of going into crime or going into sports. I chose sports. Each obstacle I faced in my life only served to prepare me for this moment. I'm glad I am in the United States, and it's very important to me to make a name here so I can help my family in Rio de Janeiro. Marlon Sandro also comes from a slum in Rio de Janeiro. He comes from a very humble background, like me. He has a strong reputation, and by defeating him, I will be able to show the world what I am capable of.
Marlon Sandro is the former Sengoku featherweight champion and the featherweight king of Pancrase.
I didn't come to the United States to just travel. I came here to win. I come from a poor slum in Rio de Janeiro. We are excluded from society, so we do have to prove to people that we are capable. Regardless of where you come from, you can do anything you want. My inspiration to fight comes from my son. He likes to watch me fight more than he likes to watch cartoons. So I want to make him proud. Fighting for Bellator is truly a dream come true. I'm going to have a chance to take part in the biggest MMA tournament in the world today. Jenair da Silva has very explosive kicks. He's a really tough fighter, but I'll finish him as soon as I can. I'm here at Bellator to become champion, and it doesn't matter who they put in front of me. I'll win. I'll be the world champion.
Tale of the Tape is sponsored by Transformers Dark of the Moon in theaters Wednesday.
See the record of Sandro, 17-2, and those fights have been against outstanding talent. A reach advantage for Da Silva. He's going to want to keep Sandro on the outside.
Tonight at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 now moves to fight number 3 in the quarterfinals of the featherweight tournament. 3 5-minute rounds brought to you by Everlast. Greatness is within. And now introducing first the red corner at 5'7", weighing in at 145 pounds. His professional record stands at 10-3 from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Introducing Junior Pique de Jenair da Silva. And across the cage his adversary, fighting out of the blue corner at 5'6", weighing in at 145 3/4 pounds. Bringing world-class experience, he enters the Bellator cage with 17 wins, just 2 defeats from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Marlon Sandro. And the third man inside the cage, referee Jorge Alonso.
There you see in the corner Marlon Sandro, an outstanding 145-pounder, the current UFC featherweight champion, Jose Aldo.
Well, I trained with Novignon down in Brazil. They're an incredible team. That was fun. Difficult, but fun.
Round number 1. Tonight's Bellator Fight Clock is sponsored by Dungeon Siege 3, born from legend to unite a legion.
Both these guys showing outstanding footwork already, staying on their toes.
Jair da Silva Jr. is in the black trunks. Marlon Sandro is in the white trunks. One of these two Brazilians will join Ronnie Mann and Nazareno Malagari in the semifinal round of Bellator's featherweight tournament here in Bellator's inaugural summer series. This is our third quarterfinal in this tournament at 145 pounds. The U.S. debut and the Bellator debut for both fighters. Sandro, 9 fights in Brazil, 10 fights in Japan. Consensus top 10 or even top 5 in the world at 145. Jair da Silva Jr. saying he has tremendous respect for his opponent. He says, though, that Sandro lacks agility and lacks movement, and that is what he's going to take advantage of to win this fight.
You see da Silva moving a lot, bouncing on his feet, nice leg kick. But Sandro's landing that 1-2 straight down the center, trying to get through the hands of da Silva.
Sandro said to us, Jimmy, that he's actually upset to be fighting a fellow Brazilian because he knows that da Silva Jr. has the same aspirations as he does to come into Bellator in the United States and find success. But he said, still, I'm not going to take it easy on my countrymen in this fight.
Nice sharp strikes by Sandro to open up this round. Saw he landed that good left hook. Nice with the right straight, good leg kick.
Chopping low kick really on the ankle there thrown by Sandro.
You saw on the tail of the tape, da Silva has the reach advantage, but not using it, not really throwing that jab out there. Kind of waiting for Sandro to come in. I don't think that's a good idea.
Sandro definitely known to MMA hardcores in the United States, of which we can happily count many in our Bellator audience. Maybe not that well known to the general MMA viewer. He is big in Brazil, and he is massive in Japan.
His only losses are to Hioki and Omigawa. No shame in those defeats.
Sandro enters 17-2. Da Silva Jr. at 10-3.
See Sandro initiating every time. He lands the first strike, that's important.
A kick there thrown by da Silva Jr. Referee Jorge Alonso just staying back, letting the action flow.
No need to step in right now. Good right hand by Sandro. Good left hook.
Sandro looking to take advantage. Big shots in the left and the right. Da Silva Jr. is in all sorts of trouble now. The guillotine from Marlon Sandro.
That looks tight, but da Silva able to pull his head out, but does he have his head clear? He got rocked. Now going for the triangle.
Nice pass there by Jair da Silva Jr.
Now trying to take the back of Sandro, but Sandro just too tenacious. Good spin move, and he's on top.
Jair da Silva Jr. started capoeira at the age of 11 and luta livre at the age of 17. Sandro started capoeira at the age of 16 and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the age of 17. Sandro does hold the rank of black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Outside trip attempt there by Jair da Silva Jr.
And the crowd really appreciating this action from both guys.
Head kick there by da Silva Jr. blocked deftly by Marlon Sandro, then the left and the right, both punches miss.
Jair proved that he has a lot of guts, and he was rocked by that right hand.
Look at Sandro coming forward.
Hitting him with the right again.
Kick there checked nicely by Sandro.
When a fighter is successful with the right hand, especially the lead right, it's usually because that jab hand is a little low of da Silva. He's finding a spot over the jab hand of da Silva.
Shakes his head.
When you shake your head, that usually means that hurt.
High-paced, very entertaining round number 1 of this third featherweight tournament quarterfinal.
It's exactly what you expect from two proud Brazilians. Very tough fight.
Kick there by da Silva Jr. It was blocked, but the crowd still reacted. They heard the foot slap on the glove.
Sandro had a lot of respect for the kicks of Jair da Silva.
Sandro just missed with that windmill right hand. Still Sandro stalking his opponent. Body shot, the left, the right, another big combination.
And here's that shot by Sandro. Bang! laying right on the chin, and a left hook here knocked him down. Credit to De Silva that he was able to get back up after that. And here, that shot by De Silva did not land. He just twisted on his foot. That's why he was shaking his head. Just showing everybody, hey, that didn't actually touch me.
Archie Moore-like, slipping the punch by about 1/8 of an inch.
The mongoose, that's a nice reference there, Sean, going way back.
Round number 2, featherweight tournament quarterfinal number 3. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
Well, 10-9, Marlon Sandro, more effective with the strikes. You see, he hurt De Silva in that first round. Not bad, not dominant enough for me to call it a 10-8, but certainly a 10-9 round.
The Brazilian Jair De Silva Jr. is in the black trunks. The Brazilian Marlon Sandro is in the white trunks. Again, the winner through to the semifinal rounds. Ronnie Mann and Nazareno Malagari have already booked their place. Time called by referee Jorge Alonso on the unintentional low blow.
Okay. Good. Time in. Fight.
Jair De Silva Jr. doesn't speak English, but I guess he understood that. I'm okay.
He certainly did. Now De Silva backpedaling.
De Silva could have taken 5 minutes there, but he wanted to come right back after his opponent.
See De Silva getting a little bit wild. That's why we're seeing these little footwork mistakes. He's getting turned around. He's throwing shots a little too wild.
Jimmy, a moment ago in that situation when time was called for the unintentional low blow, if you're in the corner of Jair De Silva Jr., do you tell him take your time, or do you want him to get right back in there?
I think in this case he wants to get right back in there because he's been backpedaling against Sandro in this first round. He wants to get in his face a little bit in this second round. See if he can maybe, you know, get Sandro moving backwards. He needs a momentum shift is what I'm saying.
Summer Series continues on Saturday night, July 23rd, live right here on MTV2 at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. The card from Casino Rama, just north of Toronto, will feature Joe Warren versus Patricio Pitbull 2 for Warren's 145-pound Bellator World title. It will also feature the 2 featherweight tournament semifinal round bouts. One of these 2 Brazilians will be on that card fighting in the Final 4.
De Silva just having trouble finding an opening. That's been the story of this fight so far. Sandro's been the aggressor. He's found a home for that right hand. De Silva just hasn't really found a way in. He's landed a few kicks on the outside. That door has stayed tightly closed.
And again, remember, through our Portuguese translator, Jair De Silva Jr. told us that he thought that he would win this fight by taking advantage of what he perceived to be Marlon Sandro's lack of agility and movement, but we're seeing plenty of both from Sandro.
We are. We're also seeing tight, crisp punches. His punches are sharper than De Silva's.
Nice inside thigh kick there by Sandro.
That's a perfect example. De Silva swings really wide. Sandro comes in with a nice, tight right hand.
Sandro, again, a lot of respect for his Brazilian countrymen, said that he really wanted to be cautious of De Silva Jr.'s low kicks. But we haven't seen a lot of those in this fight.
We have not. It's been a lot of boxing. When it comes to the sweet science, Sandro has been a little bit sharper.
You can just see there that Jair De Silva Jr. wants to counter strike. He's not getting off first.
The problem is it's hard to counter strike when your opponent is efficient, throwing straight punches. You're trying to counter with wild shots. They're just too easy to see. You see that? Sandro saw that punch coming.
Swing and a miss with the right hand by Sandro, but he is loading up that big, wide right hand.
I like Sandro's head movement as well. He's not coming in straight. A little bit of that side-to-side head movement. There's a little capoeira.
Very impressive, except that it missed. Definitely got Sandro's attention.
An amazing display, just too far away to actually do damage.
Nice shots on the inside by De Silva Jr. Capoeira, when you see it in MMA, it's beautiful. It just rarely lands.
It's good to let your opponent know you have something else in your back pocket that he needs to be aware of. Very hard to land, though, against a tight, efficient fighter.
Sandro just nodded to De Silva Jr. almost to say, come on.
Oh, De Silva's been backpedaling. De Silva's been using his footwork, angling a lot, just hasn't been able to get his offense going. Sandro, offensively much more successful.
Silva Jr. again backing up. Definitely on his bicycle here in round 2. Swing and a miss by Marlon Sandro.
Come on, guys. Come on. Let's mix it up.
But both these guys look like they have a lot of energy, still throwing sharp strikes. Is Sandro. His conditioning looks very good.
Referee Jorge Alonso just said, come on, guys, let's mix it up. But again, De Silva Jr. and Sandro do not speak English. Still, the intent was there. Closing stages of round 2. An excellent crowd here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. One of the regular venues for Bellator Fighting Championships. This the inaugural night for Bellator Summer Series. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
10-9 both rounds to Marlon Sandro. He's been the aggressor. He's been more efficient. I think De Silva really needs a dramatic finish in this 3rd round to win this fight.
Oh, on the cup. Time called immediately by referee Jorge Alonso.
Anytime you hear that pop, you know it's right on the cup.
This is the 3rd featherweight tournament quarterfinal. His time is called here in round 3.
Tranquilo, tranquilo. Toma tiempo, tiempo.
My Spanish is limited, but I understand tranquilo. Take it easy.
Take it easy. Time. You have time.
Referee Jorge Alonso talking to Marlon Sandro. Trying to communicate.
Bang.
You have a lot of time. 5 minutes if you want. Sandro just takes a few seconds. Good sporting gesture, and here we go in a straight left hand by De Silva Jr.
Well, will De Silva change his strategy? He's got to know he's down in this fight.
Jenair De Silva Jr. is in the black trunks. Marlon Sandro is in the white trunks.
First takedown attempt by De Silva. I think he knows he's got to be more aggressive. Yes, to change things up. He's down 2 rounds to none. Beautiful right hand.
2 unintentional low blows. One by Sandro, and then that one by De Silva Jr. And neither fighter on the bad end of the low blow taking really any time.
Oh, good right hand by De Silva.
Sandro says, come on. Body kicked in the right hand by Sandro, just missed. The single leg shot by De Silva Jr. Marlon Sandro pulls his leg free. Pressure by Jenair De Silva Jr. See the knees. Sandro looking to turn, can't do it.
Well, De Silva much more aggressive in this 3rd round. Those takedowns really just an effort to change things up, get something going.
Don't grab the fence.
Jorge Alonso telling Jenair De Silva Jr. not to grab the Bellator cage fence. That was a legal knee, but just on the belt line. Time called.
No more. Okay? Fight.
Emphatic warning there by referee Jorge Alonso. Again to Jenair De Silva Jr. Do not grab the fence. You can palm the fence. You can't hook your fingers into the actual links. Feint with the knee there by De Silva Jr.
Got to pantomime it. Neither one of these guys speaks English.
Jorge Alonso speaks Spanish as a first language, English as a second language, but no Portuguese, which would come in handy for this fight.
I went to Brazil. Spanish will get you through, but some of the words are just completely different. Sandro trying to land over the top of that kick. He's been much more effective in this 3rd round.
So staying much tighter with his punches and in his stance.
The question is it too little, too late?
De Silva Jr. with one to the body. Not much on that left hand. Sandro with the single leg shot. Both of these fighters proving very difficult to be taken off of their feet. Spinning back kick there by De Silva Jr. Body kick there by Jenair De Silva Jr.
Sandro showing him that was a little bit low.
Bouncing the step of both fighters. Closing stages of this fight. Deep in the round 3 of this 3rd featherweight tournament quarterfinal. Again, the winner through to the final 4. Sandro just missing with that kick.
And once again, Sandro has become the aggressor.
Sandro with the left hand. Body kick by De Silva Jr. Head kick that was blocked. Nicely done. Way cinched to the takedown by Marlon Sandro.
Let's see what the two black belts can do.
Da Silva Jr. holding open half guard. You see Sandro actually underhooking the leg. Da Silva Jr. trying to throw up hammer fist from his back. The warning there from Jorge Alonso, he thought Da Silva Jr. was going to try to upkick Sandro, and Sandro obviously a downed opponent.
I think Sandro complained. I think that foot brushed against his face. He thought he was upkicked. The referee said keep going.
Again, under the rules of this fight, no kicking the head of a grounded opponent. And that doesn't matter if you're standing or grounded yourself. Both fighters back to their feet.
Good action from both men. Only 10 seconds left. Da Silva needs to get a miracle finish here.
Sandro playing to the crowd, telling his opponent to come on. Da Silva Jr. missing with the left. The bell in the end of the fight.
Wow, he's hit the end here. Sandro ahead, on my opinion, in all 3 rounds. Still waving him in. Come on, let's fight. Says a lot about him.
When we return, we will learn the victor. There you see the banners of the Bellator World Champions on display. Will Marlon Sandro get his own banner? First, he has to get past this quarterfinal round fight and into the semifinals. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
I had 30-27 Marlon Sandro. I thought he took all 3 rounds based on efficient striking.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. Judge Barry Luxembourg scores the fight 30-27, seeing it for Sandro. Your second judge, Rick Bay, scores the fight 29-28, seeing the fight for Da Silva. Your third and final judge, Rich Green, scores the fight 29-28 to the winner by split decision. Now advancing to the featherweight tournament semifinals, Marlon Sandro.
A split decision win for Marlon Sandro, but a victory nonetheless, and he is through to the semifinal round. And Marlon Sandro is also with Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your winner, Marlon Sandro. At the end of that fight, a very close fight, but I thought he was ahead, but he was motioning like he wanted Da Silva to engage him with 5 seconds left. Not a lot of fighters would have done that.
Cara, você, tipo, nos últimos 5 segundos começou, de repente, a reagir tudo. O que você tem a dizer sobre isso, brother?
Eu respeito. I respect everybody, but I wanna fight here. Is the fight for the best for everybody here.
Now he's on to the semifinal round. What are his thoughts on the rest of the field that has advanced so far? Where does he think he fits in that field of fighters?
Brother, a partir de agora, qual o seu pensamento? O que vai ser, na sua opinião?
I wanna fight for the belt. I wanna as the champion here, the champion. This is the best event all of the world.
We look forward to seeing you fight in the next round. Your winner, Marlon Sandro, ladies and gentlemen.
3 places in this semifinal round of Bellator's Summer Series Featherweight Tournament have now been filled. As with that victory, Marlon Sandro joins Ronnie Mann and Nazareno Malagari in the final 4. The winner, by way of split decision, Marlon Sandro defeats Jair Da Silva Jr. Still to come tonight here at Bellator 46 Featherweight Tournament quarterfinal number 4. Pat Curran will make his first appearance in the Bellator cage, weighing 145 pounds, as he faces the always tenacious and aggressive Luis Palomino for the final place in the semifinal round. Tonight's Bellator Fighting Championships live on MTV2 is brought to you by Dungeon Siege 3, born from legend to unite a legion, and by the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood, Florida. Live on MTV2 from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida, This is Bellator 46, the debut of Bellator Summer Series. Here's Jimmy Smith with Bellator's founder and CEO, Bjorn Rebney.
Bjorn, an amazing night of fights in the featherweight division. A little bit of everything. What has stood out to you tonight?
Well, of course, Ronnie's knockout stood out to me. Naz's back, spectacular submission. And what, Marlon Sandro? I mean, that's a tough fight, but Marlon Sandro looked like $1 million in that fight. He is a world-class 145-pounder, so...
It seems like everyone has put their specific mark. Nazareno, obviously the submission specialist, Ronnie Mann, the knockout technician. You know, it seems like everybody put their mark, you know, stake their claim as to what they're good at in this division.
Yeah, and a lot of people were looking past Janeiro da Silva. A lot of people didn't think he had what it took to stand with Marlon Sandro. That is a great fighter that we're going to be back in Bellator watching fight again soon.
Now, speaking of featherweights, coming up in Canada, we have Patricio Pitbull versus Joe Warren for the belt. If you haven't seen it, the first fight between these two fighters, one of the best fights I've ever seen. The thing is, it was Patricio Pitbull's fight to lose coming into that fight. If you saw the first round, you could not believe Joe Warren made it to the second round. Patricio Pitbull landing almost every strike he threw at the end of the first round, getting behind Joe Warren, the jiu-jitsu black belt, going for the rear naked choke. Bjorn, if there are 5 more seconds in that fight, we have a different tournament winner. In round number 2, Joe Warren did what Joe Warren does. Came back, all hearts, all guts, got his takedown going in the second half of that round. In round number 3, he got the takedown a lot earlier. You could feel the momentum shift in that fight, and once it went Joe Warren's way, he never let Patricio Pitbull off the hook. I think he made his mark as the baddest man on the planet. Really, with that performance, turned a lot of heads in that division. So in Canada, we're going to see this fight. A lot of people talk in the tournament, oh, it's one fight at a time. Not Patricio Pitbull. All he talks about is Joe Warren.
Yeah, I mean, he's living, he's breathing. He is obsessed with Joe Warren and getting that fight, earning his way back to an opportunity to fight Joe Warren. You said it, never count Joe Warren out of a fight. That first fight was like a Rocky movie, probably one of the greatest fights we've seen under the Bellator banner. I cannot wait to get up to Canada and see those two guys go at it again. That's going to be a spectacular world title fight.
Now, as hard as it is to understand, the winner of that fight, the one holding the belt, has to take on the winner of this tournament. That takes place at the Mohegan Sun, the finals.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for. One of these 3 guys, or either Kern or Palomino, is going to earn the right to fight the winner of Pitbull versus Warren. That has the makings of a great fight later this fall. And then also on that same show, of course, we got Cole Conrad not defending, but a super fight against the headhunter Paul Buntello, fought for the UFC title. And then a special announcement coming up. We just got the paperwork back. Rico Rodriguez, riding an 11-fight win streak, wants to reestablish himself as a world-class heavyweight. Seth Petrozelli stepping up, doesn't know how to have a boring fight. And Rico returning to the place where he beat Randy Couture for the world title for the UFC. So that has the makings of a very fun fight.
And of course, Seth Petrozelli, known for his knockout of Kimbo Slice. Never count that guy out of a fight. It's going to be a great card.
Coming up, Season 2 lightweight tournament champion Pat Curran drops down to 145 pounds to face the hard-hitting Peruvian Luis Palomino for the last spot in the semifinals. This is Bellator. We're in the greater Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida metropolitan area this evening at the stunning Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino for Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2. We have now reached the 4th and final featherweight tournament quarterfinal. Luis Palomino versus Pat Curran. Luis Palomino has recorded 5 career pro MMA wins that occurred in under 90 seconds, with 2 coming in under 40 seconds.
The first tournament for Bellator, things didn't go right for me. It was very disappointing. I'm just happy that I got a second chance to prove who I am, and I'm here to do just that. I'm ready, more focused than ever, physically and mentally ready to win this whole tournament. After the big disappointment, I've been around town just collecting belts. I just came off 3 title shots. I took all 3 belts. I don't think there's a better time for me. I'm more ready than ever. I've never been so ready for a fight. Pat comes out, stands up with people. He can stand with whoever he wants, but when it comes to me, once he feels my power, man, the guy's not. It's gonna be a short night for him. Look out. It's gonna be a knockout. There's nothing in the world that can stop me from winning the Bellator tournament. I'm ready.
Bellator Season 2 lightweight tournament with successive victories over Mike Ricci, Roger Huerta, and Toby Amada.
An unknown 145-pound featherweight, Pat Curran jumped at the chance to fill the last spot in the Bellator Season 2 155-pound lightweight tournament. Curran didn't remain unknown for long.
Use the hand! Curran reigns victorious! One of the biggest upsets of the year. Best punch of this fight, Pat Curran!
It all led up to a world title fight against the sport's top lightweight, Eddie Alvarez.
Losing's the worst thing that can happen. I hate losing, and even though I lost against Eddie Alvarez, I walked away with a lot of knowledge, and I know what I need to improve on to become a future champion.
Knee by Curran on the counter.
I'm coming back down to my natural weight class at 145, and I'm going to have the power. I'm going to be more explosive, faster. I'm coming into this tournament to walk through everybody, and unfortunately for Luis Palomino, he's the first opponent. And Luis is saying that I can't stand with him. I mean, does he not know Eddie Alvarez? I took his hardest shots. Someone's going to go to sleep in this fight, and it's not going to be me. The only thing on my mind is become a world champion. I want to be the best fighter in the world.
Tale of the Tape is sponsored by Transformers Dark of the Moon in theaters Wednesday.
See the age difference? Pat Curran 7 years younger than Palomino and a longer reach. Can he keep the brawler on the outside?
Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 tonight from Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida. Now present the final fight in the featherweight tournament quarter-final round. Sponsored by Transformers Dark of the Moon in theaters Wednesday. And now, inside the cage, 3 5-minute rounds first. Introducing the red corner at 5'8", weighing in at 144 3/4 pounds. As a professional, 16 wins against 6 defeats from Miami, Florida, Luis Baboon Palomino. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in at 145 1/2 pounds. The Season 2 lightweight tournament champion and world title challenger returns to featherweight. His professional record, 13 professional victories with 4 defeats, fighting out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, Patty Mike Curran. And the referee in charge, Troy Waugh.
Featherweight tournament quarterfinal number 4. Ronnie Mann, Nazareno Malagari, and Marlon Sandro are already through to the semifinal round. The winner of this bout, Luis Palomino versus Pat Curran, will join them. Troy was the referee.
Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Judge, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight, are you ready? Fight!
Round number 1. Tonight's Bellator Fight Clock is sponsored by Dungeon Siege 3, born from legend to unite a legion.
These are both guys that definitely want to strike, but Pat Curran has been impressive with his wrestling, with his takedown defense. Will that end up being a factor?
Luis Palomino, born in Peru, living in Florida, is in the white trunks. Pat Curran, raised here in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Florida metropolitan area, now living just outside of Chicago, Illinois, is in the black trunks. Palomino told us that he definitely wants to keep this entire fight standing. And even though he's a self-professed brawler, he said, I don't want to brawl. I really respect Curran's knockout power. He said, I want to be very smart and sharp with my strikes, but I don't just want to turn this into an out-and-out slugfest.
Well, he says, I like to stay aggressive, but I'm a counter striker. I hit first, they hit back, that's when I counter.
Curran said that he has worked heavily on his boxing and on his Muay Thai. He wants to throw a few powerful kicks, a lot of punches and bunches, and he feels that when he gets this fight to the ground, he will have a very, very big advantage.
The problem is that both these guys, I feel, kind of define themselves as counter fighters, especially Pat Curran. He's a counter puncher, he's very tight, he's very patient. We'll have to see who can successfully initiate in this fight. Palomino said, hey, I'm a counter fighter. We know Pat Curran's a counter fighter. Who will successfully initiate? So right now, both guys waiting for the other one to open up a little bit.
Curran was a high school wrestler here in Florida. He has been competing in a lot of gi and no-gi grappling tournaments. Be sure to follow Bellator's founder and CEO, Bjorn Rebney, on Twitter at Bjorn Rebney. Palomino fought in Bellator's Season 1 featherweight tournament. He lost in the quarterfinals versus Esteban Payan by unanimous decision.
Oh, good right hand by Pat Curran.
Curran with the flying knee. Palomino with a takedown, covering up, trying to get back to his feet. That loss by Palomino in the Season 1 featherweight tournament quarterfinal round versus Esteban Payan was Palomino's first ever fight at 145 pounds. He said he did not take the weight cut seriously. He did not take his opponent seriously. He said he will not make that mistake this time. Palomino, though, walks at 170. He says, I'm a natural 155er, but I'm taking this opportunity. I can't pass it up. Curran walks at 175, but he says, I'm a natural 145er. He feels this is his best weight class.
Well, he's going to respect Pat Curran now. That was a great right hand. Pat Curran swarming, getting on top. The question, of course, here is how clear is Palomino's head?
For Palomino, who wanted to keep this fight standing, and for Curran, who felt that he would dominate on the ground, well, this fight is now down on the mat.
This is not where Palomino wants to be. Now, looks like he's trying to set up a Darce choke.
Darce attempt by Curran, and he lost it.
You see him cranking down on the head. He can still get it. He needs to put that right hand on his bicep.
Palomino trying to turn flat to his back. Rather flat to his stomach, now posturing on his knees. Curran holding position, can knee the body, instead steps over.
Peruvian necktie. It's a modified guillotine, both legs on his back.
Getting a tap! A Peruvian necktie versus the Peruvian Luis Palomino. And just like that, Pat Curran is in the Final Four.
Wow, great performances tonight in this tournament. Pat Curran does not disappoint. Peruvian necktie finish.
First round submission win for Pat Curran. He said that he believes that he would be the strongest of the 8 fighters now down to 4 in this featherweight tournament.
Man, it's hard to pick 4 better 145-pounders than the ones moving on to the semifinals in this tournament. Great performance by Pat Curran. Wow, as soon as it went to the ground, went for the Darce. Palomino was able to slip out, changed position. Then Pat Curran locked up his neck, stepped over for the Peruvian necktie. Beautiful job.
3 minutes, 49 seconds of round number 1. The time of the submission finish for Pat Curran.
And take a look at it. You saw Pat Curran landed a nice right hand early in the fight. And it was right here. Stepping in, beautiful right hand. Shades of the Mike Ricci fight. Just a step-in right hand. A nice, tight overhand right. Not too wild, just right on the button. Palomino, to his credit, still in the fight. But once it went to the ground and once Pat Curran got on top, you see here locking both hands, step over the head, right leg steps over the back. That's how you do the Peruvian necktie. It's the strength of your hips and legs against your opponent's neck, and that is no contest. Beautiful job, excellent finish by Pat Curran.
When we return, Jimmy Smith will speak to the victor, Pat Curran. The Final Four is set. Man, Malagari, Sandro, and Curran, you are watching Bellator. Still to come tonight, Bellator Fighting Championships live on MTV2, a bonus fight, Alexandre Bazéa versus Sam Jones. And the conclusion of the featherweight tournament quarterfinal round, Pat Curran defeats Luis Palomino.
Ladies and gentlemen, the tap comes at 3 minutes, 49 seconds into round number 1 by way of a Peruvian necktie. The winner by submission, now the 4th semifinalist in the featherweight tournament, Patty Mike Curran.
Last year, Pat Curran won a Bellator Bellator tournament at 155 pounds. Now he is one step closer towards winning a Bellator tournament at 145 pounds. He is with Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your winner, Pat Curran. Pat, when we talked to your cousin Jeff, all he talked about was how far your jiu-jitsu has come. That was on display tonight.
Yeah, I was just glad I got a chance to show it off.
Now, talk us through the end of that fight. Did you feel he was in the right position? What made you go for the Peruvian necktie?
You know, I rocked him with the right hand. He went to the ground. You know, he felt a little weak. He was still, getting his mind back together. And, once I just sunk it in, I just went for it. I practiced it in the gym all the time, so.
Now, what are your thoughts on this semifinal round? It seems like everybody in this semifinals is a beast.
Yeah, everyone's real tough, but, I came here to make a statement. This was first fight of the tournament, and this is how it's going to go all the way to the end.
Well, congratulations on to the semifinals. Pat Curran, ladies and gentlemen.
The submission finish was set up with that right hand. Luis Palomino never fully recovered, and Curran showing the urgency. So the semifinal round of Bellator Summer Series Featherweight Tournament is now set. As that victory advances Pat Curran into the last four, where he joins Ronnie Mann, Nazareno Malagari, and Marlon Sandro. The winner, by way of first-round submission, Pat Curran defeats Luis Palomino. We now take you to a bout from earlier this evening. A Bellator feature fight at the catchweight of 152 pounds. Alexandre Bezerra versus Sam Jones. There you see the Brazilian Alexandre Bezerra. Has been in the United States, living in the Philadelphia area just 2 months, now making his U.S. and Bellator debut.
Fighter, you ready?
The bell in round number one. Sam Jones, the Floridian, also making his Bellator debut. Tonight's Bellator Fight Clock is sponsored by Dungeon Siege 3, born from legend to unite a legion.
Popo, a brown belt, trains with Wilson Hayes, Daddis Fight Camp out of Philadelphia, very talented camp. A lot of great fighters come out of there.
The Brazilian Bezerra is in the green trunks. The American Jones is in the black and white trunks. Troy Waugh is the referee.
And both these guys very explosive, a lot of footwork. And it's Bezerra going for the takedown first. I don't think I've ever seen a sprawl that left both feet up against the cage, but Bezerra gets the takedown.
Jones was in gymnastics from ages 3 through 15, and one time he actually thought about being an Olympic gymnast. Very, very serious in the sport.
And gymnasts are strong, incredible upper body strength, not to mention balance.
Aside from being a brown belt, Jimmy, as you just said, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Bezerra has been a wrestler since the age of 13. Now, we've talked about it a lot on these broadcasts. Wrestling is not that popular in Brazil. Somewhat unusual for someone to come out of wrestling.
That's it. Those are illegal elbows.
Come over here.
Not allowed to do the 12-6 elbow, bringing the elbow all the straight down.
Next time I'm going to disqualify you on that. You understand? Okay.
He cannot hit the head. You see him hitting the elbow in the back of the head is illegal.
Troy Waugh not taking a point, but he told Sam Jones, the next time I will disqualify you.
Right to the back of the head, also hitting the spine. Not allowed to do that either.
You okay?
Get it to the 12-6, Jimmy, as you said, literally up to down, straight down.
You know the rules, okay? I understand. Be careful, okay? All right. You good? Okay. All right, you ready? You ready?
Time in.
Problem is, Bezerra was in good position there. He was deep on a double leg.
Jones apologizing. He looked really sincere. He said, I'm sorry.
And he had Jones up in the air on a double leg, and now they're starting back on the feet. This certainly favors Jones.
Jones swinging and winging there.
He's swinging wild now.
Big knee from Sam Jones and a drive-through by Bezerra.
Good takedown by Bezerra. Once again, showing he's got decent wrestling.
Jones in the bottom position, now closing guard. Sam Jones was discovered at Bellator's open trial here in South Florida at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino last Saturday. It was attended by 59 pro MMA fighters.
It's a last-minute replacement, hence the catch weight. He's giving it all out there, but right now, in trouble against Bezerra.
Jones talked about having a boxer style in MMA. Clearly, he does not want to be on his back, especially against the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt.
Oh, now he's almost gave up his back, but ends up back inside control. Look at that pressure. That's how you want to pass. Trying to set up the head and arm choke.
There is the head and arm choke. No panic from Jones. Now step over in the full mount.
And good step up now going for the triangle, it looks like.
It's exactly what he's going for. From one sub to another. Oh, and Jones is caught here, arm in. Full-on triangle there. Top triangle, arm in.
He might be switching to the armbar, but looks like he's staying with the triangle. Can't see here, but he might be trying to finish that triangle, putting his hips down tight. If he can get that arm across, this is over.
Watch your fingers in the eyes.
And he sits up. It can be hard to finish the triangle mount if you don't have room to sit over. Now he's sitting over onto his back.
From the triangle mount into the straight triangle choke.
Got it.
There's the tap. And just like that, success for Alexandre Bezeha in his Bellator debut.
Excellent job, very technical, very aggressive. You saw once he was on the ground and past the guard, man, he was going for not only the arm triangle choke, but then sat up, mount, regular triangle, great transitions. As a very excited young man making his Bellator debut, he made the most of it, Sean.
3 minutes, 27 seconds, the time of the first round submission victory for Alexandre Bezeha versus Sam Jones. Entertaining fight, Jimmy.
Very entertaining. Jones was game, but when the fight got slowed down, when it became a technical fight, Bezeha just had more technique, and that was the difference.
Triangle mount to conventional triangle and getting the tap out.
You see that? The triangle mount can be hard to finish sometimes. You don't have room to really sit down and put your weight on the guy. So as soon as he rolled over and went to the regular triangle, that's when he got him.
Bezeha said that, Jimmy, his best attribute was his cardio. He didn't need his cardio in this fight.
You see here, I was really impressed by his wrestling. You see, driving on the takedown, gets both legs. And boom, just takes Jones right down to his butt. That was key. That shows what's going to happen at the end. You see here, he passes guard, gets the mounted triangle, tries to finish it here, and then, hey, I'm rolling over my back to get the finish, pulls the arm across, the head down, engages his hips, and that's it. You're going to get the submission every time. Let's get one more look at it. From his back, pulling the head down, engaging his hips, squeezing his knees together, and no blood to the brain. You got to tap.
23-year-old Brazilian who is now living in Philadelphia, Alexandre Bezeha, is a name to watch in Bellator Fighting Championships. Victory in his Bellator debut. By way of first-round submission, Alexandre Bezeha defeats Sam Jones. And Jimmy, we open this Summer Series featherweight tournament with 8 fighters. We conclude it with 4 remaining.
And they are an outstanding group. Whoever emerges from this is going to be considered easily one of the top 345 pounders in the world. This is an incredibly stacked tournament.
Make sure that you visit us online at Bellator.com. Follow us on Twitter at Bellator MMA. And become a fan on Facebook, Bellator Fighting Championships. Bellator Summer Series continues Saturday night, July 23rd, live right here on MTV2 at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. The card will feature Joe Warren versus Patricio Pitbull 2 for Warren's 145-pound Bellator World title, plus both featherweight tournament semifinals. For Jimmy Smith, Bjorn Rudney, and our entire crew, I'm Sean Wheelock. Thanks for watching Bellator 46. This is Bellator.